And I am Brenda Stokes. My tag has come off my suit jacket, so in case you missed that. I want to welcome you again to a celebration of a wonderfully talented woman, Brenda Oldham. Now, I am not partial, but she is one of the smartest people that I do know, and she is a wonderful, kind-hearted person. You know, what stands out about her is her love for each and every one of you who are here, so we're glad that you're here to celebrate this with us. Okay. I've been blessed to work with Brenda for 12 years, and for 35 years that she's been doing this. Every day I get to work with my mom, which is kind of a comfort and fun. All right. We want you all to enjoy yourselves. This is a celebration. So again, we're going to have a good time this afternoon, and we're going to go into all the things that has actually happened in the theater. There will be an introduction, lunch will be served, and Brenda will actually come back to have a section on running the race. So that's going to be a feature part of how she was able to be successful in the financial industry over these 35 years and last. And we'll have a performance from Daryl Beatty, too. And if you all want to come up and take a moment to roast Brenda, we're going to invite people to share their comments on Brenda and what they think. All right? And then there'll be closing remarks, then sights and gratitude. So Brenda's journey started in 1987. So actually September 21st, 1987, so just 35 years, just a few weeks ago, it was her first day working for Allstate Insurance Company. So with Allstate, she became a sales management trainee, and she had to get licensed as an insurance agent, hit production marks, make top sales production, do rigorous training in school. She passed all her product knowledge modules. She earned sales designations. She achieved master's degree and worked in the Sears store in Findor Mall. And so we have a picture of that mall there and her early business cards. Business cards haven't changed too much, but it's a little bit different than what it was. And that's her homemade dress. It's a picture for her interview. So she had sewing skills on top of business skills. All right, so eventually her career moved her to Traverse City, Michigan. Now this office here is a medical office now, but she was assigned to be a territory manager up in northern Michigan, and this was one of was the largest market, Clare, Michigan to Ironwood, Michigan, and she went up to the top parts of Michigan, which touch Wisconsin, actually. So all the Allstate managers got a company car, but Brenda was known as the woman with the Jeep. She had a Jeep because up north, it snowed a lot more, over 100 inches of snow in given years and things of that nature. But her job was to make sure the production grew and to improve the sales, because when she got up there, the market was second to last. And by the time she left, it was second to first. So second place market, because she implemented a strategy of training the agents. So what training and development was done in this office that we see the training center in Traverse City. And again, that was able to take the market up from second to last place to second place in all of Michigan. And that earned her a promotion. And she eventually transitioned from Traverse City down to the Milford area. So this is her different people that she helped have successful careers, people start in this industry, become agents in this industry, throwing Brenda a party as she left from Traverse City and came to Michigan. Not to Michigan, but to Milford. So she was in Milford, the new market in Milford, and Brenda worked in this office for 2 years as sales development training before resigning from Allstate and launching her own insurance agency, RAM Insurance Agency. And she did this because she wanted the flexibility to be with family and to have more time with family. Okay? This is her, we see her RAM card as that transitions to, and the old Allstate card. And that was her location when she first came to Milford, where she was working. The building still exists. So a lot of people may recognize this buildings here in this picture. This is how she met a lot of you all to discuss your financial needs with Brenda. She was working at the GM Proving Grounds and doing workshops here at Baker's actually at that time, and holding client appreciation events like she's doing today for people. And this is how she grew her business as RAM, and she was working in Community Choice Credit Union at that time. In 2010, Brenda moved to the 141 North Milford Road location. The first office upstairs there was an above level, and this really was the start of her independence, becoming an independent in the financial service industry. It was a small space, but it was comfortable. And eventually in 2015, we moved to the lower area, which was very, very great, and because it's handicap accessible, our clients didn't have to walk up the stairs. There's a little tiny stairway for the smaller office and stuff, and this made it a lot more convenient for everybody. And this is the current location that we occupy today. And we, again, moved there in 2015. So today, Brenda still is working, after 35 years, doing workshops, working with clients, working for her clients, conducting meetings, and I'd like to bring Brenda up, if I could.
Thank you, Riel. Thank you very much. So I'm going to give you guys a little bit more things that have taken place along this journey. And that's why I wanted Riel to just do the overview and tell you a little bit, a couple more things here. Let's see, go to the next one. Go back. This is forward.
Go forward. Go forward.
Go forward. It's at the end. Yes. Two slides there.
I didn't do the presentation, so I have to see. So when you think about this industry, financial services, would you say it's predominantly a women industry or male industry? What would you say?
No.
Yeah. So back in 1987, I just want to tell you a little bit of the way things were set up. So when I interviewed with Allstate, you know, when you just get out of college, you don't have a lot of clothes, right? You're certainly not, you don't have suits and things like that. And back then, you were expected to be dressed corporate. I mean, to the point that sometimes, you know, the guys would have their ties and you would have a bow tie. So I really wanted the job, but I'm thinking, I gotta make an outfit, I gotta make something for this interview, and I am hoping that these people pick me because the training program was a phenomenal program. You know, they were gonna take you all the way through the training program, you would get assigned a market, and you get a company car. I mean, that's so, you know, that's pretty good, right? So you're willing to do pretty much anything to get there. But when I came in, all the guys got assigned and went straight as agents and were considered to be brokers. there weren't a whole lot of us that actually got hired that were women. I was probably one of the only African-American women that got hired, and my counterpart on the other side of the territory, she was a white woman, but she eventually left the industry. But what I wanted to say about this is I started as what they consider to be helping the secretaries. I had to learn how to teach them how to use the computer. And back then, do you guys remember the Zenith computer? I had just got out of college. I'm thinking, I know I can do this. I would go home. I bought myself a little Zenith computer, and I would play around with it. And I go in and show all the girls. And even when I got promoted, they talked about me teaching computer skills. I couldn't teach anybody computer skills today. But that's how it really began. And so then when after a year, I didn't have to work with the secretaries anymore. I could literally go and take the tests. So I took the tests, and they said, you're going to be assigned to this market. And the market that they gave me, everybody used to call him, you're going in his market? But it was okay because I learned really fast and really quickly. And they would throw everything at you. They said, you have to take all these exams. You got to go through the claims department. You got to do whatever. And I thought, well, whatever it takes, I'm going to do it. So I did it. But I worked in that Sears store, and there were like 15 agents in that store making a living. Can you imagine having 15 agents working in a Sears store? And mostly all of them were males. And one day, I struggled and did a quote, and the individual said, well, I'm going to come back and I'm going to get that insurance from you. Well, I called the person up, and he says, oh no, I came back, you weren't there, and somebody else wrote it. And I thought, really? He said, yeah, they said that, that's it. No one's going to write my business anymore. I got a little recorder in my house, and I would always say, call me at my home office. Did I really have a home office? No. But I didn't lose another client. But the Sears store, I could go in the aisle and do X states. Tell people I'm taking a survey. I just knew I had to hit those numbers, and I had to get through the program, and I did. So those were some things, and then they sent me up to northern Michigan. I know you're laughing. What happened is the gentleman got sick and he retired. And they said, we need someone to fill that position. And they said, well, we got someone ready. And when I told my kids we're moving to northern Michigan, they go, what? I said, yes, we're moving to northern Michigan. So we moved to Traverse City, and my market literally went from Clare, Michigan. Do you know where Clare, Michigan is?
Yes. An hour from here.
All the way to Arnwood. Arnwood touches Wisconsin. That is a long ride. And the market wasn't doing good at all. They were on the bottom. And they said, well, let's see what she can do. And I'm thinking, we gotta make it. I got all these kids, brought them up here. I can't fail. So they didn't have any training centers or anything. So I went to the home office and I said, I got a proposal for you. I can save Allstate a lot of money. We're spending money taking people to the hotel just to train them. And I found this building that I completely remodeled that I owned, and Allstate rented from me so that I could train them with those All-Star computers. And then I would have people come in, and I taught them the PNC course. They would get licensed, and we grew that market. And that market went from the bottom to being number 2 in that whole state of Michigan. And at that point, they said, well, we need you to come downstate. We got another problem. So that's how I ended up in Milford. But I got tired of always having to work 70 hours a week. I mean, you have to work really hard, especially when you're traveling throughout northern Michigan. I put 60,000 miles a year on my vehicle. So with all of that, here I am today, and I am happy to be in the Highland Milford area. I've met so many wonderful people, as you can see, and I consider all of you my family. And that's what I wanted to share with you. With that, I'm going to have Daryl Beebe do a little music. They're going to serve you some dinner. You're going to have your salad. And thank you guys for coming.